Hello everyone, I'm Jim Doyle from Nature's Way Nursery in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We've been working with bonsai and landscape and interior scape for the last 46 years. We're starting our 47th year this year. And through our doors comes wonderful artists to help teach, along with myself and others here at Nature's Way. And we offer a full line of educational programs. We teach in a yurt, in a studio, and also in a post-entry quarantine house. Each year we have some special events, festivals, usually in May and October, and there we have a lot of guests that come in and see what we have to offer. And what we have to offer is not just the education, but also we import pottery. We have many trees such as this, Yamadori trees. We have some classically styled trees, tools, and sundries. So we have a full offering here at Nature's Way. And so we open our doors to the public, and people from all over the world come and visit us. And we're generally open year-round, and we're planning on doing that for many years to come.
Bonsai Dream.
Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel and thank you so much for following me. Today I'm at Nature's Way Nursery in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I'm working on this beautiful Rocky Mountain juniper. Most of the time I'm in US, I get to work on this species because it's one of the most common Yamadori tree that is available here in US. Those type of juniper grows in the Rockies, in very high elevation and very exposed areas. A lot of them come from Wyoming. Wyoming is a pretty flat land, but there are what were old mountain originally and now are just very big hills in granite, and it's easy to find these Rocky Mountain juniper growing on rock pockets. So that's the reason why they can go already, since they were collected in very small pots. They get potted in pumice, that is a very good soil to make them shooting a lot of fine roots and get the root ball ready to go in a future bonsai pot. A lot of them as beautiful and old deadwood for the harsh condition how they are used to grow. And so when we get to work on some of them, the first thing I do, I try to analyze the structure of the tree, the good and the bad point. For sure I want to put in evidence the deadwood and the live line of this juniper, because those are two the main characteristics. And then I start cleaning the foliage and try to use the stronger line to build the structure of the pads. So, the first part of this work that was very, very important was to clean all the old live lines that were not active and understand very well where the active live lines start and go to the different part of the tree. We can easily see that the tree has 1, 2 and 3 part. So I have to discover which live line are active and go to those parts. So it's also important to understand this, because this is one of the biggest points to decide the future front and the angle of the tree, because we have to understand if in the front we see a live line, how the live line is moving along the tree, and all this detail will define the front and the angle of the future bonsai. So we can easily see that there is a twisting live line starting here and going around and coming in the front here, splitting in two veins. One is going to the branch in the right, and one is going up and splitting again in the two branches, one left and the top. So according to that, we can start playing with the angle and deciding which one is the front of the tree. This part is very interesting. I like the twist, and I like absolutely this point. The tree is going a little bit forward, but one option could be lifting the tree a little bit up to be able to use this front. Now set this one as a future front of the tree, we have to analyze the structure and understand how to use the branches that we have at this position. So for sure I want to keep this live line that is going to go to the first branch to the right. That will become my first branch and will already define the direction and the dynamism of the tree. So I will have that branch coming down to the right. I have a nice line here with very good and strong foliage, and another line here, probably an old branch that is a little bit weaker and going up. So if I'm not using this one as top, because probably I'm using the one to the right to go in the same direction of the first branch, I'm going to remove the foliage from here and create a gin, and then I will be able, because this branch is nice and flexible, to bend this branch down in the back part of the tree, and this will help me to create a nice depth, and in the meantime I can create a nice background to the central part of the tree to focus the attention in this that is the focal point of the tree, when I have a lot of very old deadwood, plus I have the twist of the vein. The last work will be to push forward the top to create the canopy. Now that branch is still going a little bit back, so I will see if I have to protect with some raffia and then bend forward to create the canopy, always in the same direction of the first branch, so to the right. Something important to say about Rocky Mountain and juniper in general: when I work on a juniper for the first time, I try always to use the strong foliage and remove all the weeping one and the very inner one that is not active or very weak. So the tree start pushing and will build a nice structure in a very short time. This is very, very important when we work on junipers. Now that I clean this part of the branch that I don't want to use for the future shape of the tree, I have to face a little problem for the aesthetic of the tree. I have this very old gin that is following the movement of the tree, and then I have this branch that is kind of crossing and creating a spot that is a little bit of competition. There are too many lines going on. So what I want to do, because I want to preserve this part of the deadwood, I'm gonna short this and just keep like a couple of pieces shorter, so they will not fight visually with the old deadwood that I want to preserve. Now that all the tree is nice and clean, we identify the front and the new angle, we clean the branches and we prepare everything, we clean the foliage, we have only the good foliage ready to be wired. I'm going to protect the main structural line with raffia and black tape to then be able to bend them and all the fiber together, and then I will do all the wiring and set the first styling of the tree. So now all the protection and the wiring is complete. I was wiring thinking always at the direction of the primary branches to have the wire tightened up when I push them down. So now what I will do, starting from this lower branch, I will anchor probably in a screw on the back of the tree and start pulling this branch down and creating the first pad. Then the next one, and at the end I will start shaping the top and also putting down the other right branch in the higher part of the tree to create a little bit more flow to the right. As you can see, the two lower branches are setted. First branch very dynamic to the right, and this branch coming across and framing the beautiful deadwood in the first part of the trunk, and also focusing the attention together with this branch on the central twist of the limelight. Now I have to solve a problem about this very straight part of the trunk that will be the persecution of my trunk line. So because it's so back and so straight, I want to try to bend it a little bit just to be able to verticalize a little bit more this that will be my future apex. So what I'm going to do, because there is some shower in the front, I'm going to split the branch in two parts, and then I'm gonna bend it to see how the reaction of the fiber will be, and then I'm gonna put a protection just using tape. So we put the very big guy wire to lift and get this branch forward, and now the next step will be to push down that branch. Final product. I'm very happy about the result. This work is a nice example, is that we have to plan earlier all the structural work that we want to be done on a tree, because planning in advance will make the work easier and also safer for the tree. So if we know earlier that we're gonna bend branches in different direction and we're gonna split the lifeline or so and so, we can plan it, do it properly, and then have the tree to afford and pass the trauma of the bending easier. The other thing, I always like to work with this strong part and keep then asking energy from the tree, so the tree energy will be always high and I don't risk the energy go low and the tree can start losing some branches because they get too weak. So looking forward to see the evolution of this tree in the next few years. See you at the next episode.
Bonsai Dream. Bonsai Dream.